Hey Authentic Leaders, it's Judy. This week's Monday Mindset theme is decisiveness. And here are 5 tips that I'm going to give you for this week. So number 1 is to get really clear on what your picture of success is, right? So if you're making a decision, you have to think about what's a win for you? What's the winning outcome that you want to have? Now, with that said, we also have to make sure that we get clear about our biases and also check in to see what are your common errors of thinking? What are ways that you have a pattern of falling into? And what I mean by that is sometimes we get into the paralysis of analysis. Some of us really like data. I don't get into that pattern. My pattern tends to be to always go with my gut instinct or to look at the big picture. So I sometimes have to fall back and say, okay, what kind of facts and what kind of data do I need in order to make a really quality decision? What am I missing? So that's number 1, is to get really clear about what the picture of success is and get really clear and be self-aware in terms of what your biases are. And number 2 is to get internal alignment. And what I mean by that is if you have any resistance to making a decision, that's information. Take a moment and actually ask yourself, like, what is it that resistance is trying to tell me? Because it may be a warning sign. We have a tendency to discount our negative mind, and that is the mind that keeps us safe. It looks for danger. But sometimes we do need to pay attention to it a bit, but not get stuck there, right? Our experience or something that's happened in the past, that's important information, but we don't need to get stuck there or live from that place, okay? Number 3 is play with a full deck. And I once learned this concept when I was studying emotional intelligence because they said that some of the most successful, experienced leaders in the business world make their decisions based on not only their logic and data, but also on their intuition, on their gut instincts. It's very, very important. It's like your sixth sense, and it's something that we need to pay attention to. It's information. So think about how you can combine both your intellect as well as your intuition and be able to trust that. Be able to trust the balance of the two. And that truly does seem to me like I'm playing with a full deck whenever I do that. Okay, so number 4 is connect the dots. We have to connect the dots because as we go higher and higher up in organizations, we have less and less information and we have more and more ambiguity. So we have to embrace the ambiguity, know that we're not going to know all the information, and then be able to connect the dots as best we can. Be able to see the patterns, be able to trust that as much information that we have is quality information. And if not, ask questions. Obviously, we want to ask questions. And number 5 on my list of tips this week is all about, you know what, sometimes you can make 5 little decisions instead of making one big one. And I don't know about you, but this has happened to me. Sometimes someone else's sense of urgency, like, oh, a decision has to be made, their sense of urgency pushes me into doing things that I don't necessarily want to decide on right now. So sometimes chunking it down and making 5 small decisions, 5 small ones instead of one big one, can actually make us a stronger leader, make us have better decisions. So those are my 5 tips for this week, and I look forward to seeing you next Monday for Monday Mindset. See you then. Thanks. Bye.